Hello everyone. Today in this lecture, I am going to discuss the concept of time series analysis and forecasting, where I will be covering the conceptual part and conceptual introduction of time series, its various roles, advantages, and its various components. So theoretically, I am going to cover time series analysis and forecasting in this particular lecture. So first we come through the time series analysis introduction. So as we can read with the in the with the content given in the slides, that when data observed at different points of time, the set of observation is known as time series. So in a very layman language, we can understand this concept by taking or quoting an example. Suppose we have a sales figure of Tata Steel of last 5 years. So based now, when I say that we have data of 5 years related to the Tata Steel sale, it means we have collected that data year by year. So when we do these kind of collection of data within or after a period of time, then we call it time series. So according to the schedule, a time series is a set of observations taken at a specified time. So this time can be monthly, it can be quarterly or semi-annual or on annual basis. Usually at equal intervals, we collect the data that we call the time series. Suppose I say, for example, I have a sales data of ABC Limited 2011, 100 million rupees sale. 2012, 200 million rupees sale. In 2013 we have a sale of suppose 350 million dollar million rupees. So in that sense we can say that the data we have collected on annual basis after a equal interval of time. Here are some advantages, that why do we conduct these kind of analysis, or we say time series analysis. The first one is reliability. Time series analysis uses historical data. As I said, we always have the reference of time series data, which we have collected for year on year or after a regular interval of time to represent conditions along with a progressive linear chart. In that manner, what we can do, that the data we have collected, we can apply that data in form of a linear chart. The information or data used is collected over a period of time. As I said, we can collect the data weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annually, whatsoever is the suitable mode of collecting the data. This makes the data and forecast reliable. So on that basis, when we collect, we do in this, we do the data collection and then analysis in a specified manner, in a systematic manner. Then we can get reliable results. Second advantage is seasonal patterns. As the data related to a series of periods, it helps us to understand and predict the seasonal pattern. Means after in a particular season, what is the pattern of the data we have collected. Suppose we have collected the profit figures. So from month April to June, whether there is an increase in the profit figures or decrease. Then again, July to September, is there any increase or decrease? Then we can easily figure out. For example, the time series may reveal that the demand for ethnic clothes not only increases during Diwali but also during the wedding season. So these kind of conclusion we can draw, we can find it, we can do these kind of findings based on the data we have collected in a after an equal interval of time. The third advantage is estimation of trends. So once we have collected the data, based on the data, we can apply various analytical tools. Suppose I'm going to apply method of least square. So based on that, I can estimate what is the trend, whether the increment trend is there, decrement trend is there, or is there any, there is no change in the trend. So these kind of findings we can develop after doing analysis. And the fourth advantage is growth. So time series analysis helps in the measurement of financial growth, or we can also measure the marketing growth. We can also measure the growth in terms of customers. It also helps in measuring the internal growth of an organization that leads to economic growth. The next is a role of time series in business forecasting, that how this time series analysis can help in better forecasting for the business entities. It can be for any micro, small, medium, or large medium enterprises, large enterprises. So the first one is it helps in understanding past behavior. Suppose I have collected the data for last 10 years. The company has started, suppose this is 2020, year 2020. Company has begun in year 2010. On regular interval in a year, we are collecting a data. After in a year, we are collecting the data. In that manner, we have data of 10 years. So based on that data, we can check whether there is an increase in the profit or increase in the sale, whether there is a decrease in the sale, or we can also check that do we follow any pattern that in a particular time period we have an increase, then it dips, then again it goes forward. In that manner, we can develop or we can understand the past behavior of the collected data. The second point is it helps in planning future operations. Statistical techniques have been evolved which enable time series to be analyzed in such a way that possible influences can easily be determined. So the possible influences we can check once we have collected the data, and by implementing the techniques of statistics, we can check the influential level also. The third point is it helps in evaluating current accomplishments. The actual performance can be compared with the expected performance. As we have already set the standards, those we term them as a expected performances. By comparing those standards, we can check whether we have performed good, bad, or an average. That we can judge by doing the comparison between the actual result with the standards or the expected performances. In that manner, we can check the level of accomplishment within the organization. The last point is it facilitates comparison. It plays a vital role in doing comparison between the given set of data. Different data set can easily be compared with each other, and significant conclusion can be identified by doing calculation with the help of time series techniques. Next point of discussion in this session is component of time series. That what are the various components in the time series. So here broadly we have these four components in the time series. The first one is it is a secular trend. So secular trend, it refers to the general tendency of data to increase or decrease or stagnate over a long period of time. So these kind of findings we can make. Time series relating to economic, business, and commerce may show an upward or increasing tendency, whereas there can be some downfall or the decreasing tendency also. For example, in terms of death rates, birth rates, share prices, etc., may show a downward or decreasing tendency also. Second component is seasonal variation. There can be some we can say the commodities where we can observe the seasonal variation. It refers to the changes that take place due to the rhythmic forces which operate in a regular and periodic manner. These forces usually have the same or most similar pattern year after year. When we record data weekly, monthly, or quarterly, we can see and calculate seasonal variation by doing the comparison with one by with the another one. We can do the comparison. Thus, when a time series consists of data only based on annual figures, there will be seen no seasonal variations. These variations may be due to seasons, weather conditions, habits, customs, or tradition. So when we do these analysis on annual basis, maybe we cannot figure out it. But if we do this comparison, suppose on monthly basis or quarterly basis, better we can figure out these kind of seasonal variation because in a year there are different seasons with reference to India. As we know, the summertime or the rainy season, and then we have the autumn or we have the winter season. The season comes in a year only, so we have to do more short term comparison among the data set. Then we can better estimate, we can better evaluate or check or determine the seasonal variation if we do the calculations and comparison between short term data. Third is cyclical variations. So it may also be possible that some scenarios are there where cyclical variation can also take place. These variations are due to the ups and downs recurring after a period from time to time. These are due to the business cycle. Maybe some business cycles are there where we see that there is a continuous improvement, then it goes to decline, then again it gets improved, because a business cycle also follow a type of pattern. Because of that reason, the cyclical variation can also occur. As we know that every organization has to face all the four phases of a business cycle, sometime or the other: prosperity or boom. It can be the one scenario. The second phase can be recession. Third can be depression, and recovery are the four phases of a business cycle. So generally, a business follow these cycle, and in those, when business enters into the different cycle, then cyclical variations can also occur, that we can again determine with the help of various tools and techniques and the methods. And the last component is irregular variation. Irregular, as the name indicates, that when something unpredicted, unforeseen results into variation with the standards in the actual performances, that we call the irregular variations. It can be because of some uncontrollable incidences, or we can say the calamities like earthquake, flood, fire, or as of now, as at present, as we can say that COVID-19 has become a real perfect example of irregular variation for across the commodities and across the consumer durables or FMCG, whatsoever is the company. Every company is facing challenges because of this COVID-19 situation. Because of its negative impact, the companies are facing huge losses. So these are the losses because of some unforeseen events or incidences, which can again contributes or results into variation between actual performances, actual production, actual sale, actual profit figures with the standard profit which we have expected, standard sale, standard we can say the product production. So there can be variation because of these unforeseen changes. So these are the various we can say that trends which a company may follow, we can say that may face. Now in the next session we will be having some other concepts related to the time series analysis that we will cover in the next lecture. So for more lectures, please subscribe my my YouTube channel, Management Study by Anirudh Vijay. Like it, comment, subscribe and share. Thank you so much.